Hey everyone, welcome back to our series Working From Home 101. My name is Kyle Crooke with Milestones Company. So far in the first two videos, we've talked about setting the stage and expectations for the transition for your workforce from working together to working remotely. And in the second video, we talked specifically about you as the HR professional being the change that your employees want to see when it comes to working remotely and working from home. Now, in this particular video, we're going to talk about creating the network. Again, my name is Kyle with Milestones Company. Today's video is all about creating the support network for your employees as they transition to working from home. Now, it's very important to help create a network because I'm sure, especially as an HR professional, if you have a lot of your workforce, your employees transitioning to remote work, they're going to have a lot of questions, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty, and there's going to be just a lot of angst associated with transitioning to remote work, how the work is going to change, how the work-life balance might look, and instead of trying to overwhelm not only your employees but also overwhelm yourself with all these different questions and all these things that are going around, it can be a lot more effective, efficient, and most importantly more personable to create support networks for your employees so that you can encourage buy-in, open channels of communication, and be able to connect your employees with leadership and creating really great transparent channels of communication that are ultimately going to allow your organization to respond to what your employees are experiencing and really allow your company, either virtually or in person for the future, to be able to really respond better to your changing employees' preferences and their work situations. Now, let's go ahead and dive right into what I'm talking about when I'm discussing creating the network. Now, I want you to focus on creating 3 particular networks for your employees as they transition to remote work. The first one is going to be focused purely on your employees. There's not going to be any involvement from you as an HR professional or from leadership in your organization. This first network is going to be the working at home experience. What your job is as an HR professional is to solicit the insight from all your employees who are recently working from home, seeing if they want to join a group, a virtual group of course, in which they discuss their any issues that they're facing personally. They can discuss what they're doing to achieve better work-life balance. They can relate to themselves, to each other better with what they're experiencing from at home, from a personal standpoint, from really anything that they want to discuss. It's a great way as your employees transition to the new norm of remote work to be able to really support each other, especially if they're on different elements of their journey in remote work. It's really great for your employees to build transparency with one another and to have visibility with each other without needing to feel like they need to report up to management or up to leadership. This is purely for the benefit of your employees. And what's great is that they can take advantage of the virtual platforms that your company is going to be using with remote work. So whether it's Teams, whether it's Skype, Zoom, WebEx, you name it, they're able to not only better adapt to their work and be able to relate to their employees through the support network, but they can also better utilize the tools that you as an HR professional are using to communicate with them and to help them with their work. So really it's creating a really great environment not only to upskill them when it comes to the tools that you use for work, but most importantly to help support each other in not only stabilizing when it comes to remote work, but being able to perform their best, not just as employees, but as people as well. So the second support network that I want to focus on is making a virtual employee resource group or just a virtual special interest group. Now, this is for anyone and everyone in your organization, for you yourself as an HR professional, for leadership, for employees, for anyone who's wants to come around a particular special interest. So let's say that's a book club. It's a great way to be able to set a certain time for leaders, for frontline managers, for employees to be able to connect again virtually on virtual platforms that your company is endorsing, and to be able to put work aside for a moment and to better relate with each other. So this is a great way to have employees engage across different business units against different roles in your company to really make that connectedness and that support not just between new remote workers but also between many different people in your organization, especially if you're spread throughout the US or even throughout the world. Now we're going to expand this, and the third support network that I highly encourage, and that may be the most crucial, is creating a network. Expand this, and the third support network that I highly encourage, and that may be the most crucial, is creating a network that's connecting the newly remote workers, anyone within your team, directly with leadership. So the first network that we recommended, or that we reviewed rather, was about empowering new remote workers with one another to foster a community that supports one another. We gradually evolved into a support network that involves those remote workers with different workers in other business units, different management, different managers and different leaders as well, to really come together and really personalize around a special interest. And then the next evolution of that is a direct communication channel between these employees, between your workforce, and between leadership. This is really great, especially a few months down the road into the transition to working from home. There's going to be a lot of consistency in the issues that employees face, the challenges that they have, and also in what they really enjoy about remote work and what they really want to endorse with that type of work. So it's really great feedback that your employees are naturally gathering from one another and in all of these really great networking, these support networks. And so it's really important to create a network of your employees and your leaders so that your leadership can understand what your employees are facing and can really drive change. As we discussed in the last video, you're being the change that you and leadership want to see to your employees. And what's great is being able to close that circle, close that loop, and have your employees provide input into that change. This is really great for buy-in, and it's something that doesn't really have to be time intensive. It can be something where, every month or so, for a quick 30 to 45 minute conversation, it's a support network with anyone who's interested from the employee side, and then the pertinent leaders in your organization to come together to be able to personalize, to be able to understand one another more, and to really align and create that buy-in. I know we talked a lot about support networks, but again, your network is your net worth. So it's super important, especially as an organization, especially transitioning to a new type of work in working from home. It's really important for the employees to foster support with one another, to foster support with different departments, with different types of employees, in order to generate something more personable and more human. And then third, and what's most important, is to create a direct line of support between the employees and leadership, so that you're making sure over the next few months, over the next few years, that remote work ultimately becomes very profitable for the company and becomes very personable for the employees. Again, my name is Kyle Crooke with Milestones Company. It is an absolute pleasure to talk with you today, and I can't wait to provide you with the final and fourth video of this series coming up soon. Until then, have a great one.